Behind the Mask, a cyberpsychological, philosophical, and societal examination of virtual identities. Animated characters, digital avatars, and streamers who keep their real faces hidden are among the most striking cultural developments of our time, especially the so-called virtual YouTubers, who appear using animated 2- or 3-dimensional figures, have evolved from a niche phenomenon within anime and gaming culture into a global mass phenomenon. In the first quarter of the year 2026 alone, virtual YouTuber content reached over 570 million hours of watch time, a new record. Millions of people follow virtual personalities every day, form emotional bonds with them, and sometimes experience them more intensely than traditional celebrities. What at first appears to be mere entertainment actually points to profound changes in modern identity. Behind the digital mask lies not only escapism, but a complex interplay of psychology, technology, economics, society, and philosophy. The avatar is far more than a figure on a screen. It has become a social tool, a projection surface, a shield, and sometimes an alternative, more intensely experienced form of the self. The society of visibility. Modern digital culture creates a paradoxical state. People are expected to be permanently visible, yet visible in a controlled and optimized way. Platforms reward constant presence, self-staging, and algorithm-friendly performance. Likes, comments, and reach have turned attention into a scarce social currency. The individual becomes a micro-influencer of their own life. It is precisely in this culture of enforced visibility that the strong desire for masking emerges. Virtual avatars enable visibility without complete exposure. They allow closeness and distance at the same time. One can speak, laugh, cry, provoke, and build community without fully revealing one's physical body, face, or real-life biography. Irving Goffman already described social life in the 20th century as a stage on which people play different roles. Digital avatars radicalize this principle. The stage no longer disappears after the conversation. It is now global, permanently online, and algorithmically amplified. The virtual YouTuber is therefore not only a performer, but a symptom of a society in which identity is increasingly curated, modular, and media-mediated. The avatar as an extension of the self. From a cyberpsychological perspective, virtual figures do not only work symbolically, they reach deep into perception, behavior, and self-concept. Central to this is the Proteus effect, described by Nick Yee and Jeremy Bailenson in 2007. People unconsciously adjust their behavior to match the characteristics of their avatar. Those who control a confident, attractive, or powerful avatar often behave more self-assured, open, and dominant. Recent meta-analyses confirm small to medium effects that are particularly strong in virtual reality. This is complemented by the self-discrepancy theory of E. Torrey Higgins. Many people experience tensions between their actual self, ideal self, and ought self. The avatar makes it possible to playfully bridge this gap. Gender, age, voice, personality, body shape, or even species become newly designable. The digital space becomes a safe laboratory for identity play, especially for neurodivergent people, individuals with social anxiety, physical disabilities, or members of social minorities. New spaces of empowerment emerge here. Many virtual YouTubers report that behind their avatar, they feel not less authentic, but for the first time, truly authentic, free from immediate evaluative pressure. Authenticity through concealment. Here lies one of the most beautiful paradoxes of virtual identities. The mask often does not serve deception, but rather the protection of vulnerable aspects of the self. In a hyper-visual culture where bodies, attractiveness, and social status symbols are constantly compared, the avatar reduces this pressure. It protects against doxing, bullying, stalking, and superficial judgment, while simultaneously opening up creative freedom. Many creators describe their virtual figure as emotionally more honest than their real everyday role. The avatar becomes a social prosthesis, a medium that first makes communication and connection possible. Carl Gustav Jung viewed the persona not merely as pretense, but as a necessary mediator between the individual and the collective. The digital persona can be understood as a highly technological further development of this archetypal structure, a flexible mask that both protects and expresses the self. Parasocial closeness and digital loneliness. Yet the same mechanisms create new risks. Virtual personalities trigger intense parasocial relationships, one sided emotional bonds in which viewers feel closeness, friendship, or even love. Regular streams, the voice, seemingly direct address, and chat interactions create a strong sense of connection. In times of structural loneliness, these relationships fulfill real psychological needs. During crises such as the pandemic, many fans reported stress reduction, emotional stability, and a sense of community. At the same time, this closeness is often economically exploited. Platforms monetize attachment through super chats, memberships, and virtual gifts. Loneliness becomes a resource of platform capitalism. When the mask becomes heavy, the role is not without consequences for the creators either. With great success, the merging of figure and person can become so strong that fear of a face reveal arises, or the feeling emerges that one is worthless without the virtual persona. The mask, which originally offered protection, becomes a burden. Burnout, emotional exhaustion, and identity diffusion are common consequences of permanent performance. Jean Baudrillard is helpful here. In hyperreality, signs and simulations appear more real than physical reality itself. For many viewers, the avatar becomes the primary emotional reality. They often know the character better than the human behind it. The future of artificial personalities. With artificial intelligence, this development shifts dramatically. Artificial intelligence-driven virtual YouTubers such as Neurosama already show that virtual personalities no longer necessarily require a human core. Such avatars can exist around the clock, never tire, respond perfectly to viewers, and dynamically optimize their personality. This raises a radical question. What does authenticity mean when personality is partially or entirely generated algorithmically? In the metaverse, in virtual offices and educational spaces, multiple parallel digital identities could become the new normal. Philosophical outlook. Virtual avatars are neither pure escape nor pure liberation. They are the expression of a society oscillating between the compulsion to be visible and the deep need for protection. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote that every profound knowledge requires a mask. Judith Butler emphasizes that identity is inherently performative, relational, and constantly in the process of becoming. The digital mask is then not merely the concealment of a true core, but a creative space in which previously invisible, suppressed, or undeveloped parts of a person can become visible and livable. The real truth of virtual identities may lie in this apparent contradiction that sometimes people only begin to become emotionally truly real behind an artificial figure.